Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry. This is the fastest 90 minutes in outdoor radio program. John Gordon, Ron Wong, we're hitting an hour already. I mean, I don't know about you guys. Wow. You're sitting in the easy chair someplace. John, you know it's duck blind country, getting ready to do this, and we only got 30 minutes left. So I'm going to step out of both of you guys' area, okay? I want to talk about, not that I don't like fishing and duck hunting and waterfowl hunting, but I got some friends that are deer hunters. And not only, deer hunting is so important to me that I risked being bitten by 18,000 chiggers 2 weeks ago. What are you laughing about? Sure. It ain't fun, buddy.
I know.
I mean, to get ready for the velvet hunt, I turned velvet myself. Jeremy Dennison, I mean, we got to do something. Can you, instead of being the CWD Region 1 field coordinator, be the chigger coordinator for the TWRA? So,
Well, Mr. Larry, I'm still dealing with a few chiggers from the velvet hunt as well. So,
Lee, man, putting my ground blind was something else. I've been just as good to laying the ground. But hey, we got Jeremy Dennison on with us. Jeremy's been on many times. He's our man we go to here in West Tennessee in Region 1 because he is the chronic waste disease field coordinator and the deer biologist based out of our Jackson office. I think you're still living in Sharon?
Yes, sir. I live up in Weakley County. Sure do.
Weakley County, 19 years with the age. That don't seem possible. Jeremy, what were you, 9 when you started? I mean, come on now.
No, that must have been a typo. That's 10 years, Larry. I just had my 10-year anniversary.
I thought that I was just making 19 to make you feel like you were then there, and everything. But let's talk CWD. All right, I've got my hunting guide here. I'm looking at it. And, folks, if you don't have your hunting guide, you got to have it this year. Every year it gets more important. There's 11 counties with CWD, and Jeremy will agree with this. You need to stay abreast. You can go to tngov.com. You can go to the CWD website, get all the information, but you also need that guide that I picked up at Bass Pro and other places around town. But, Jeremy, I know we had the what we call the velvet hunt back in late August. And then we had archery season open on the 26th. And now, we're coming up on Halloween weekend for the young sportsman's hunt.
That's right.
And then we're going to get into a really weird thing. I don't even have to use my muzzleloader this year, even though I like
you can if you like to, but if you want to go ahead and pull the rifle out, if you're in a CWD county, you can go ahead and do that. So
let's talk about it. Figures-wise, I know we're ahead of last year. What figures you got through midweek here?
Yes, sir. I would say that deer season is definitely off and running. Just from the figures from late this past week. The statewide harvest total was almost 7,500, which is up from that period last year, 93%.
Wow.
So the harvest is definitely up.
Okay.
We had a record turkey harvest because of everything that went on in the spring, a lot more participation.
Yes.
And we think that deer season is potentially going to, it could have the same kind of trend. When we look at Southwest Tennessee and the CWD unit counties, harvest there, of course, is up. It was up considerably through the 3-day August hunt because they could use a rifle.
Yes.
But that unit harvest in the unit CWD counties is up 118%.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
And when you look at just Fayette and Hardeman, what we consider the core area,
yes, where I
harvest,
yeah,
especially the females, is up almost 200%. So folks seem like they're we're given extra opportunities for harvest, and folks seem like they're taking advantage of it. So, and
that's what you wanted, wasn't it, Jeremy? You talked with Chuck Yost has been on this the program before, and you've been part of that team and everything else. Participation is what you needed. last year folks are a little leery of what to do.
Right.
But now along comes COVID, and more people are outdoors, right. And so these figures are they helpful to you guys?
Well, they're trending in the right direction. You know, we had a really significant increase in those hardest hit counties last year, and that's understandable for those reasons that you mentioned.
Yeah.
So yeah, as you know, and as it's been said a bunch of times, Chuck and others, the only way we can really manage this is through hunters. So we need hunters to keep hunting and keep providing us samples and just continue on. So it's definitely looking promising.
What about the positive? Are we getting positive reports? Or are we okay with the 11 counties that we have now, Jeremy?
We're already getting results. We've already got a couple of batches of results from the one from the August hunt, and then the first week of bow season.
Good. Okay. So
we've got a few new positives, but nothing that's out that would make a difference in any of the other counties. They're all in the in the same general area where we picked up a lot of the disease.
Yes. Yeah. So, and we're recommended. I've heard people say, "Well, I'm not going to eat those animals. I'm not going to eat this. I'm not going to do that," and all this kind of stuff. Obviously, we're taking it. People are taking advantage. I've seen more youth or whatever the pictures with deer than I think I've ever seen for October.
That's right.
Where the hunter education courses are back online. Some of them in person. They're trying to work out hunter education classes, particularly in West Tennessee, and you guys have been able to get positive reports, and that's what we want. So
absolutely. And recruitment and retention is a big part of what we do, and it's really encouraging especially with the young sportsman's hunt coming up. That folks get youngsters out there in the field if they can. That's one of my favorite times of the year.
It is
youth weekend. I've got one son that's too old now, and I've got one that's right in that sweet spot. So
who was
we're
that?
Going to definitely take advantage.
Which one was with you in that big animal that you killed?
The picture I sent, that was my oldest. He's 19 now, so he's too old to go.
All right. Where was that? When did that happen? And when? That's a wonderful picture you sent. Tell us what happened in that. And we're going to post that on lroutdoors.com because it's a great picture of Jeremy and his son. So that had to be that was a bonding time, wasn't it?
Yes, sir. We've always enjoyed spending time hunting together, and that was one of those good mornings that you hope for. It was muzzleloader season. We were hunting in a 2-man stand together.
Yeah.
We just had the one muzzleloader. So if you look real close, you could see Austin's deer, which is considerably a good size.
Yeah.
But what had happened is he shot his deer, and there was another one with it, and I shot the one that was trailing, and you can barely see it laying behind Austin. So we doubled up there.
Yeah, it was a really cool picture. Thank you for sending that because that was when did y'all do that?
That's been probably 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay, well, it was a great
up in Weakley County.
Up in Weakley County is a great picture. I know Jeremy. And again, we're talking to Jeremy Dennison, TWR Region 1 CWD Field Coordinator and Deer Biologist. We've got one more Facebook Live coming up, folks, October the 29th at noon. Right, Jeremy?
That's right. That's right. And I'd encourage people, if you want to go ahead and send in a question to be answered, you can go to send it to asktwra@tn.gov. You can go ahead and send in questions. We had a pretty good response for our first meeting back in September. We had several questions that came in beforehand, and then we were able to take some live during the meeting. So I'd encourage people to take advantage of that again.
That's TWRA@tn.gov, and you can also watch. Because I think these noon times are goofy, but that's just me. I can watch them, but if you're working, you can still go back and see them later. That's the good thing. But it's facebook.com/tnwildlife/.com/period. But that's October the 29th, and It usually, what that one last? I watched it. I didn't watch it. I forgot about it. Okay, I forgot about it. At noon, I was eating, okay? But I did watch it later, and it's about an hour, wasn't it, or something like that?
Yeah, it lasted right at an hour.
Well,
yeah.
So put that on your calendars, folks, and again, that's their Facebook page. And, Jeremy, I know I'm optimistic. I'm seeing lots of deer. I think I'm seeing healthy deer. I've actually seen some young deer. I mean, the weather-wise and things along that line. So you anticipating a good year?
That I am, and I think you mentioned the weather. I can't remember many years that started off as nice as this one, as far as the weather and the temperature has just been perfect. I mean,
yeah.
We may catch up a little bit whenever all the weather comes through from this hurricane, and things may slack off a little bit. But so far, it's been a wonderful weather-wise. So,
well, Jeremy,
hopefully it'll continue.
Yeah, well, I hope it does too. And folks, again, get that hunting guide. Go by Bass Pro or Sportsman Warehouse, one of those places like that. I think that maybe even Gator Brown may have some out there, but have it. Jeremy Dennison, thank you, buddy. Okay.
All right, Mr. Larry, right, thanks for having me.
Always appreciate you taking time, and we will stay in touch. Have a great day, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's take a break. Ron Wall, you and John Gordon are still alive, right? I mean, you're still. I thought I heard John breathing twice. So,
I'm still here, Larry.
All right. Well, we want to talk Wade Bourne on this next segment, and I know that Wade was a friend of this show, friend of mine, friend of John Gordon's, friend of Ron Wall's, and we're going to talk about a new nature center in Clarksville, Tennessee, as we close out today's show on Outdoors with Larry Ray.